Welcome back to the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast with daily on-the-go episodes packed with testimonies and business tips to help you create financial freedom through entrepreneurship. Hosted by the owner of Fracassi Lashes and the Blow Dry Lounge, the Beauty Boss Millionaire herself, Falicia Fracassi.
Welcome to the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast with Falicia Fracassi. I'm your host. Today's objective is simply to help business owners that are looking to grow their business and how to just really stay innovative even when others try to duplicate what you're doing or the competition tries to increase or whatever it is. I want to just make sure that you stay in business. The first thing that I suggest for any person that has a business and they're working their way up is simply educate yourself. Constantly educating yourselves is so important, and you have to reinvest in yourself. A lot of the times business owners, when they're new, they're so excited that they have the money that they take the money and they spend it on whatever it is that they need or, stuff like that. Obviously you have to buy groceries but you need to make sure you're setting aside an amount every single week or every single time you receive payment, so you can reinvest it in your business and buy more supplies. It's something that to me is very simple, but a lot of people make this mistake where they start the business and then they spend it because they think they're going to make the same amount next week, and it might not be the same next week. It could go up, it could go down, it could be nothing, it could be stagnant for a while. So you need to constantly educate yourself. And a lot of these courses that you are going to be taking online or going in person, they cost money, and a lot of stuff isn't free. In the beauty business, there's always some seminar that's coming up. Technology, there's always some new thing going on in Silicon Valley where you have to pay to get in, or there's these just little groups that you sometimes have to pay to play. And it's important that you constantly are reinvesting in your product. You're re-upping on the product. I joke around and I remember, so Biggie Smalls used to always say, never get high on your own supply. Y'all know the song. And what he was basically saying is like, you never want to use your own supply to get high from. Now in real life, you're not doing drugs here, but what you never want to do is use your own supply and literally ingest it in yourself so that you don't have any other supply for anyone else. Like that was always a rule. What's for the customers is for the customers, and what you need to reinvest in your business, you need to reinvest in. Another thing that I think is really important is simply get creative. And what I mean by being creative is constantly create avenues for your customers to find you. I remember back in the day when Groupon first came out, it was in the early 2000s, and everyone was like, oh, Groupon is so dumb. Don't do it. You're going to lose money. And even my aunt was like, oh, I'm not doing Groupon because they take so much of your money. But for me, you have to know, I didn't always just listen to what people said. I had to figure out what worked for me. And I had to get creative and go on Groupon and get people to hear about me. But then I would call them up and say, all right, I want to pause my campaign, or I want to cap it off at a certain amount of people. Or you make a deal that they get a little sampler and they come back. You don't give away the whole cookie. You don't give it all away for free. You have to make it so they're coming back to you. And they're also, now you're creating exposure. So there's different platforms that allow you to gain exposure. Constantly advertise. I think Bill Gates said it best. He said that if he had one last dollar, he would use it on advertising. And it's true. I have experienced my business before making money just by getting walk-ins or people hearing about me. Word of mouth is always the best form of advertisement. But what's even better is when you actually have a commercial or you have an Instagram ad or a post. And those things, obviously they cost money. So I say invest at least 10 to 20% back into advertisement. One year my budget was, for one store, it was like $2,000 a month in just advertising I was paying, but it was making me over $25,000 in just one store a month because I advertised $2,000. And sometimes when I wouldn't advertise, that number would go down. So for me, it was essential for me to continue to advertise and pay the money to whatever platform I wanted to use at the time that would bring me money. So you make sure you take a portion of that and you give it back to the business. It's like feeding a baby. If you don't feed the baby will die. So you need to constantly feed the baby, and by investing back into that, by buying that food, and that food is advertisement. I always suggest also having friends that are CEOs. Having friends that are CEOs really help you because you guys are all thinking like bosses. Facebook, there's these little groups if you type it in, and you can see what entrepreneurs are doing. And like I'm part of a microblading group. There's all these different groups on Facebook that you can join. Even with my kids, I'm on these little groups that help me figure out how to be a better mother. So constantly network. That's really my point in this is network, and kind of from networking, yes, you are telling people about your business too, but you're also gaining ideas because you need to be amongst the thought leaders in your industry. If you're, doing cleaning, you need to be in a group that does cleaning. Well, what is the best method? For example, my Airbnbs, they're so busy and they're so hot. Last month we made over $15,000 in just Airbnbs, which was crazy. And that's just a month. That's after I paid my cleaners are so good at what they do. We have 2 sheet sets, sometimes 3 sheet sets, and we just go in the house and, well, I don't actually go in the house, but they do with their team, and they go in and there's like 3 of them. They go all in at once. And they all have an assigned role. One takes care of the kitchen. One strips the bed off. We don't even do any washing. And they take the bedding home with them. And they're in and out the house within 20 minutes. And they sterilize everything. They set it up nice. There's a nice welcome note. It's quick, done, boom. It's in. They're in and out. So there's a system in place that we've figured out how to master it and make it faster. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is I had to invest in more sheets. I had to invest in more things because that's one of the facets of the Airbnb business is the hospitality, is that it has to be perfect. It has to be eloquent. It has to be just fancy for my clients when they come and they have a good experience. I'm a super host, and also with my business with Fracassi Lashes, the chain of beauty stores, it's the same thing. You have to be just so creative in making things go faster. And, we have like a checkout process. We have a 5-point question that we should be asking our customers and telling them about what we have coming up. Reach into that market and tap in and see exactly what they are, interested in, and keep them coming back for that. I'm going to make this into a 2-part series because we're over our time. So up next, we're going to be talking about part 2 on how not to get stuck and how to help business owners grow their business and just innovative ways to keep yourself in business over the years. Thanks for tuning in to Beauty Boss Millionaire with Falicia Fracassi.
That's it for today. Tune in tomorrow for the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast. And don't forget to follow the Beauty Boss Millionaire, Falicia Fracassi, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Beauty Boss Millionaire.